Hey everyone, how you doing today? My name's Kirsty and on today's video I'm bringing you the wrap up and sort of breakdown of the Adventurerathon, including the reveal for our giveaway winners. In May, I had this crazy idea of running my very first ever readathon, and what date did I choose to launch said readathon but June, because yes, apparently giving myself only 4 or 5 weeks to plan an entire month's worth of readathon materials was just a thing that I decided to do while trying to start a new job as well as work out what's going on with my health. So clearly I am just insane. But I am very, very happy to announce that it went far beyond any expectations that I had. I expected maybe 5 people to sign up, and honestly, you'll find out soon how many signed up, but it was a lot more than that. And I was blown away. It was amazing. And I am so grateful. First and foremost, I want to say a huge, huge thank you to Ren for being the one to convinced me to go ahead with it in the first place, and then Jonah for basically becoming my wingman the whole month, but also Max kind of hyped me up all throughout as well. And I also had Charlotte who helped with the recommendations, and then Zamai who towards the end of the readathon was also kind of helpful, and since the readathon has now become a bit of a sounding board as well. So thank you to everyone that helped me with this. And yeah, I want to go through a few bits with you guys. So what you can expect from this video when I get my notes together, because I have a lot of notes that I wrote because I was prepped. So the first thing we're going to do is sort of talk about how I got on with the reading challenge and how I found the reading and everything. Then just a few stats and just interesting information that you guys might be interested in. Then I'll do the giveaway draws. Finally, I will address some of your feedback that you gave on the feedback form, and then the very last thing that I'll do is talk about the next round and just a couple of exciting announcements to do with that. So, first and foremost, I found the readathon really awesome. I really loved the community feel that we built. There was constant activity over on the Discord. I myself chose to do the pirate pathway. I did complete my pathway, which was really awesome. So I did become a pirate. And the books that I completed for the pirate path, I chose Sword for Tools. Originally, I'd planned on reading Bloodmarked. I ended up reading Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa because it was an audiobook that I could quickly get finished in time. For my skill, I chose Navigation, and I read In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. The starting quest was to read a book featuring pirates, and I read Slick, which was a pirate erotica smutty romance thing. And then the final quest, which was a book about a great treasure or fortune, I chose Daughter of the Siren Queen because that is basically about them hunting down a huge ass treasure hoard from the sirens. I then started my Sovereign Path, but I only got the first 2 prompts done. For tools, I chose Crown on Cover, so I read Nimona. And then for my skill, I chose to do lawmaking, so lawyers and law enforcement, which was Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. And yeah, I did really enjoy it. So we got halfway to becoming the Pirate Queen, or Pirate King, but not quite that far. So I was quite happy with it, and I'm really happy. And a lot of people did complete their paths, which I was really glad about. And I think it did work really, really well. A few stats just for your perusal if you are bothered at all by that kind of thing. And I've yet again lost my bit of paper with everything written on. So, to gauge how many people took part, there were people on Discord who I knew had said that they were taking part. There were people that I know in my personal life, and then there was the form for people to log books. So I just added together all of the people that I knew of. So these are just the participants I am aware of that took part. And in total, we had 35 people take part, which for a first ever round of a readathon, I was blown away. Like I said, I expected about 5 people, and instead I had 35. On the books logged form, there were 208 books logged by the end. That's crazy. Like, that's just fantastic. And the fact that we managed to get over 200 books when I genuinely, again, was expecting like maybe 50 books. It's like blowing my mind. The most popular book read was Fourth Wing, which was read a whopping 6 times by people. And then for the pathways, what I thought was going to be the most popular pathway was Assassin or Mage. What I thought was going to be the least popular was the Holy Warrior. And I was wrong, and kind of right. Most popular by far was Pirate with 12. I wasn't expecting that. I thought that that was going to be sort of in the middle, but it wasn't. It became the most popular. I'm blaming the smut. Then it was Hunter with 8 people, and then Assassin and Mage got the same. They both had 7. Sovereign had 5, and then coming up at the back were what I thought, which was Holy Warrior, but also Merchant. They both got 4 each. So at least there were none of the pathways that only had 1 or no people doing. So I'm just happy that there were a good mix of people doing the pathways, and I'm really happy about that. And then with the giveaway form, there were 62 submissions between 15 people, so you guys read a lot and you'll need to slow down because I could not keep up with some of these at one point. And that obviously then leads to the next part of the video, which are the giveaways. So what I've done on the form, I asked you to tell me if you were UK or international. I created on my computer, I created one of those wheel things where you type in the data, and then I recorded the screen as I expanded it and spun it for the first time. First off, we're going to go with the UK spin. So here it is doing its job. As you can see, the winner of that was Kate Davis. So congratulations, Kate. I will be in touch in the next few weeks for you to send over your Amazon wish list, as well as I will send a list of what candles I have available from my shop and get one sent over to you pronto. And then onto the international wheel, here we go. And we have Mrs. Moni, I'm not sure, I'm sorry. I basically just wrote down the name that was put in the box. But congratulations. I will be in touch with you again in a couple of weeks. So keep an eye on your inbox for that message, and just make sure that you let me know what country you are from, because I need to be able to convert into your currency. So yeah, congratulations to our winners. As I said, I will need to get in touch in a couple of weeks. I've just got a couple of financial things coming up, so it will be this month in July, but your prizes will be on their way to you within the next few weeks. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations to our winners. So moving on to a couple of more serious bits, I did have a look at some of the feedback. I think the thing that came up the most was about the prompts not always being super clear. That is why I did do with the announcement videos. That's where I did most of the explaining. But one person did feedback that maybe when I do the rich text format and I just write it down, that maybe I could explain things a little bit more on there as well, because apparently some of the prompts were a bit too vague and a bit too unclear what I was asking for. I will absolutely, the graphics, I won't put much more explanation in than I did the first time round, because they will just get too full of text and they'll be quite difficult to read. So I will make sure when I write up the prompts and have the document with the prompts written down, I will be a bit more clearer on the prompts for that. The other feedback that I got that was like a predominant, well, it only came up twice, but the fact that it did come up twice tells me that I need to address it, was that some of the prompts were quite difficult, and that if you hadn't actually read the books, then you might not be able to find a book that fits, because it was, unless you've already read the book and know what's in it, you're not going to be able to fill the prompts, such as things like the coronation prompt and things like that. I can understand where that frustration comes in, but at the same time, I did deliberately set it up so that the first prompt was the easiest one, and then gradually I built them up in difficulty. I may not have explained that one quite so well, but I have tried to make it that the final quest was kind of a more challenging prompt. And I definitely remember explaining that somewhere along the line, but maybe I needed to make that a bit clearer in the video where I did the original announcement. But also, I will just say that it's almost impossible to get any readathon where you won't have at least one prompt that has that kind of problem. And unfortunately, that is just a thing that does happen in readathons. I'm not going to say that I won't include them in future, because then that will really super restrict what prompts I would be able to use. But what I will say is I will try to reduce how many of those types of prompts I include, to try and include different things instead. But obviously I can't guarantee that one. All I can do is support you guys and help you in a much more open way, which is what's going to lead on to the next bit, which is the next round and the things that are going to change. The next round, you guys voted on Discord and we had a chat on the live as well. And originally I was thinking November, but then a couple of people like myself pointed out that there's NaNoWriMo in November and that they would be really struggling to do a readathon as well as trying to write 50,000 words of their own novels. And I remembered, hey, I also want to take part in Nano. So I put the vote out to you guys, and between September and November, because I know a couple of people were worried that September is too soon and won't leave enough of a gap between rounds. And I fully understand. Unfortunately, that is the month that did win. So September of this year is going to be the next round. So I'll have July and August to get that ready for you. So if you do feel that that is too soon, I completely understand if you choose not to participate. What I will also say is that the second part of that voting was to pick the format, and the pick was between doing a second round of character pathways so it'll be identical to this round, except that the characters that you can choose from will just be new characters. And then at the end of the month, I'll have a big poll so you can pick the final 7 for your favourites, and they will be the permanent 7 that we will take forward for every round after that when we do the actual adventures. And that's what everyone chose, because, well, not everyone, some people chose for us to go straight into the adventure side, but the winning vote did go to a second round of new characters. So if you do decide to skip the next month, then at least you know that you're not going to be missing out on the first adventure. You're just missing out on some new characters. So I'm hoping that that means that it'll be a bit easy for you. But then going forward after that, I have decided the readathon will take place every January and June. So January, just to start the year when it's dark. For a lot of us, it's dark, it's gloomy, it's not a very pleasant time of year. But even for those in Australia, I found that January tends to be a month that has far fewer readathons. And it's also my birthday month, so I just figured it gives me something to look forward to in the month that I normally really struggle with my mental health and depression. And it's like, you know, after Christmas and everyone gets a bit low mood after Christmas. So I just thought it'd be a nice thing to do to kind of keep spirits up and to keep myself motivated and energized to start the year. And then June, obviously, because that was when we did it this year. And I just think it's a nice little gap and it gives me time to plan and prep everything in between. I also, going forward, will have at least one, if not 2 co-hosts on the screens publicly. So I've got Jonah is officially going to be a co-host. Basically, he's going to be helping me with some of the planning. He will be in charge of a couple of the event stuff. And also when there's sprints and I can't make them due to health reasons, he will be able to, as long as he himself is in good health and has a free day, he will be able to step in and do those sprints in my stead. I'm also in discussions with a certain somebody to ask if they would also like to join as a co-host, but I haven't had a chance to do that, so I won't officially announce that yet. And then I've got 2 people who again have offered to be like sounding boards and to work with me, and that is Zamai and Max. So we will all be working together to give an even better experience going forward, and especially when we get to the adventure side, these guys are going to be crucial to that. And then I have decided, after the reflection on a couple of the things from this readathon, for the next round there will be a few adjustments. The biggest one is going to be in terms of the points and the giveaways. I've decided I'm going to remove the points aspect because that just seemed a bit difficult to keep track of for some people. And so I was like, right, okay, I get it. So I'm going to remove the points, and it will just basically be once you have completed your pathway, that will gain you an entry. Where if you complete all your side quests, that will be another entry. When you enter things, that'll be an entry. And then for things like with the scavenger hunt, if you get everything right, you're getting extra entries, things like that. But things like with the winner of the cosplay contest stuff, I will keep track of who's won and all of that, so you don't have to keep filling in forms if you don't want to. And then instead of doing one big giveaway, because I am aware that I gave away a lot for this one and it was a really big prize, so I think instead of having like one person getting a massive giveaway reward, I instead for next time I'm going to break it so that 3 people win. And so it just means then there's a little bit more excitement as well. There's not just one person, and we'll have little giveaways for things throughout the month as well. The only other sort of major change is going to be with the book recommendations. I will do a recommendation video in August in the build up to the readathon, and then once that recommendation video is out, I will then open a document on the Google Drive where it will be for everyone. So I will have all of the prompts written down, and you can then add in recommendations to your heart's desire in order to help support your fellow readers. And I just think that would be a really nice way to help people if you are struggling, because there were people who were struggling. So I just feel like instead of it just being the 4 or 5 prompts per suggestions per prompt that I come up with, you can then get as many suggestions as are on the form. And if you're still struggling with one, there will always be the Discord where there's going to be a new channel set up specifically for prompt recommendations. So yeah, that is my wrap up for the readathon. As I said, I've been completely overwhelmed by the love and support throughout this and how many people have taken part and how popular it's become. It was just amazing and it was such a fun month, and as a first time host for one of these things, it went really well and I didn't burn out as much as I thought I was going to. So it was great, and the sprints really did help me with my reading, so I'm definitely planning on doing more sprints on my channel that aren't just for the readathon. I can't thank you guys enough for the love and support. It's just been amazing and I am really excited for September. I have already chosen the 7 pathways and I'm going to announce it as the last thing I do here. I will tell you what those 7 pathways are for the next round, but you're not going to get any hints on any of the prompts or anything until later on. We have the blacksmith, the inventor, the minstrel, the necromancer, the seer, the spy, and finally the warlock. These are going to be our next round, so look out for those. It's going to be great. I can't wait, and I'm really, really stoked and excited for September. I hope you're all good. I hope you're staying safe. I really hope you enjoyed the readathon if you took part, and if you didn't quite get time this time, that maybe you will next time. Thank you all so much. I'm just completely bowled over and overwhelmed, and I will see you guys in... Well, obviously I will have other videos coming up, but for the Adventurerathon, we will see you again. Me and my co-host, or hosts, we will see you again in September. I hope you're good, I hope you're staying safe, and until the next announcement video that will be coming in August, bye.